little wet. Seems like there's a lot of water running every place. What's going on here, guys? Tell us.
Okay, so we noticed in April of 2016 that when the ditch had been shut off for a few years, I guess due to drought, that when they turned their ditch back on, within days after it reached the area above our property, we started getting flooding or water seeping up from under the ground or coming up everywhere on the upper end of our property.
So by upper end, you're saying up back behind your house, right?
Yes.
Up on the hill.
Yes.
Now the ditch is up higher, correct?
Yes, approximately 850.
860 feet.
850, 860 feet up above where we're standing now.
All right.
And I cut 2 ditches across the property.
So I see you've got like little creeks almost cut in the lawn, and
You have to, or the whole lawn, you can't even walk on it.
because it's just like a
Yeah,
wet
I can't even
sponge.
cut that
Yes,
other half
it's
down.
like walking on a sponge.
All winter long I can cut the lawn, but not when they turn that water on. I can't cut the lawn no more. That's how it is.
So all through the spring and
Until
summer
it
months
gets
and
100
into the
degrees
fall.
weather.
Yes, up
then
until
it'll dry.
April 15th or 16th.
Yeah, I can
Then
run the
we
tractor
can no
here,
longer.
everything.
Yeah.
So it's inconvenience you're using your property, it
Yeah.
sounds like.
Well, plus making twice
Made
as
all
much
the
work
fence
for
fall down
him
right there in the back,
for doing
too.
all the weed eating and weed
The
control.
weeds keep
Right.
growing every
Plus
every
the
3 days,
mosquitoes.
like that.
Now I notice you've got a lot of your boats and things out here in the front of your property, but I notice you have some covers up back behind
Yeah.
your property. What's going
I
on
put
there?
a brand new shelter up there when I first moved here and kept my boats there. And that's when they had the water off. After they turned that water on, I've had my boats down in the front of my house ever since.
Because
I don't use the shed at all.
Right,
because once they turn their ditch on, you can't go up above the property
Runs
with
right
any
in front of the
vehicle.
garage.
because it's so wet.
Yeah, my
Yes.
tractor's underwater all the way around it right now.
Wow. So let's just walk up back here a little ways.
Be careful, because it's really muddy up there.
You reported it. How did you report it, Carol?
Okay, well, the first year when it first started, I didn't even know who the ditch belonged to. My husband and I had
walking,
to
hon.
do a little research even to find out where the water was coming from, who owned the ditch.
Oh, because you're not customers of the
No.
water district of North Yuba. huh?
No, we didn't know. We had no idea.
Careful, yeah, go
And
right to
so
the left.
basically, I just started calling water districts
It's bad.
in our area until I finally reached Leona,
All the way across.
and she told me that she was pretty sure it was their ditch.
Okay.
The rain stops.
All right. Let's hear what Tony's saying up here.
Turn that ditch on. Then it comes out like this, all along the whole mountain.
So, you contacted North Yuba Water District in 16,
Yes.
and what did they first tell you?
They said it was a spring.
The first time they came out, 2 of the guys walked our property with us. Who was it?
Oh yeah, that's when they offered the gravel.
That's not important, but some of the people came from North Yuba.
Yes,
they
and
brought
they
that gravel.
came and they looked and they said it did look like it might be coming from their ditch.
Okay.
And so that's when they sent out the boss. We met Jeff Maupin.
Okay. And that again, that was in what?
2016, in
All right.
April about 30th.
Okay. So then he came out and he took a look,
Yep.
and then what did he say?
And Dale Skinner, is he on the board or is
No,
he?
he's no longer a
Oh,
board.
okay.
He was then.
Okay,
He
well,
was at
that's
that
who
time.
came with him. And they came and they said, oh, they're going to try putting some plastic in the ditch.
happened, what's happened in, say, the last 12 months or so, because they've done some repairs up there, right?
Yes. Okay, last year, since they didn't turn their ditch on, it was dry enough up here on our property that we could have someone come in with a tractor, and they dug us another ditch.
Dug one all the way across the
That
property,
goes
right up there. I'll take you and show you.
Up
It's
above
that
this
full of
one that's
water
been
right
here
now.
for years to try to divert the water.
Think both winter water and this? water?
And this, yes.
So you had to pay for that?
Yeah,
Yes.
Good partner of mine, but I had to pay him for it.
But yes.
The district didn't offer to help?
No, because now they're
won't even
back
go
on the
out there
kick
with
that,
that.
well, maybe it didn't come from. We're thinking now maybe this isn't our water.
That's what they're saying.
After they
tried
brought the
fixing it.
gravel and after they offered to move our boat and everything else, then they went back to the theory that maybe it wasn't their
And you
ditch
told
causing the
them,
problem.
did you tell them that when the ditch was not running during the season that they didn't have the water, did you tell them everything was dry back here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So they had that information.
That's why I was up there 2 days after they turned it on. Because I knew the water started coming out again.
Right.
Right now, you know they turned the ditch on.
Right. So when they turned the water, so they did some work up there, right?
yes.
turned it on
They
and then
did
they
their
let it go
piping
off.
last
So-
year. They kept told us they were not turning the ditch on because they were doing some piping.
Okay.
And they said that they got a grant to put this piping in, experimental. They said
They
that
told you
they
it was
chose
experimental?
our.
Experimental?
Well, what they said was they only got enough money to do certain sections. That they're hoping that if they did these problem areas, and ours was chosen as one of the problem areas,
Uh-huh.
that they said that they're hoping that by doing these small sections that they'll be able to get the financing to do the whole ditch. And of course, that's what we're praying for.
Who told you this?
I believe it was Danny. I don't know his last name, but his name is Danny.
So was Jeff Maupin communicating with you at all?
Jeff Maupin has not communicated with me since I went to that board meeting in 2016 or 2017.
You have not
They
heard
brought
from
the
him
gravel
for
out.
almost 3 years?
I call and talk to Leona, and I asked to speak to Jeff, and they let me leave voicemail messages. He's never in the office. He's never available to talk to me. He does not call me back. I leave voicemail messages, and men miraculously appear, and they go up to the ditch, but they don't talk to us unless I run down to the road and flag them down, or run over here and flag them down on the other road. They don't tell us what's going on. They don't tell us what they decided to do, or yes, you're right, the ditch is breached. This year, when they turned the pipe back on, they did not send someone out to come out and inspect their pipes before they turned the water on. I knew in February, I went and walked that ditch. I knew in February that there's so much rain had come in that dirt had washed down underneath of their pipe system and raised it up in all kinds of places.
Oh, so the piping wasn't buried?
No,
It was
only
just-
they laid concrete bags
That's making
that
a hell
they
of a mess
said
up there.
would get wet and make it solid.
Right.
And that's a joke too.
All the
So
tops of the
you're
bags
saying
are
that
ripped off and
before
gone.
they even turned the irrigation water on, all right, this season,
Yes.
you walked up along that ditch up there,
Yes.
inspected the pipe, and you saw that the pipes were literally floating in the water?
Well,
Yeah.
before the water, when
like
the
a
rain
caterpillar.
in February, when the rain was here, I could see that dirt and water had washed underneath of their pipes and raised them up, so they looked like a caterpillar.
Because they only
Okay.
put the cement every 10 sections. or
Yeah.
10 sections. They
So
didn't
what
put it on every
happened when they
section like
turned the
they should've.
water on?
So when they turned the water on, we knew before the water even hit here that it was on. And so Tony took a walk up there, and sure enough, he saw the ditch guys there, and they said, we just turned it on a trickle just
Halfway,
to
a
see
quarter
how
way.
it was going to work. And he was straddling the pipe, beating on it with the sledgehammer.
Because it had come apart?
Yes,
Popped all the seals.
popped all the seals
And
that
you said
weren't
it looked
concrete.
like a caterpillar when they turned the water on?
Yes, parts of it
Wasn't
were
level no more.
floating, parts of it were down, the parts they had the concrete on were down here where they're supposed to be, but all the other sections were raised up.
So since all that happened, all right, your water problem in your yard here and in your land has continued, right?
Yes.
So even though that seems like they may have done some repair and fixed the problems, it still sounds like it's leaking, right?
Yes.
More questions. Did you report this any further? Did you talk to any other county folks?
Oh, well, I've talked to the supervisor, and if I can remember his name, Fletcher. I've talked to Supervisor Fletcher, and he was little to no help. In fact,
They just shunned us
I
off
more or
when we
less
found
told him, so what you're telling me is you can't help me, and I hung up on him. Because he kept telling me, you need to work with the water district. You need to call the water district and make them aware. And even though I told him that I have made them aware, that I've been trying to work with them and they're not helping, that was his only suggestion.
So did he suggest you to contact anyone like, say, a district director?
Oh, he did tell me that there should be a member of the board that's specifically supposed to work or be a representative for my district.
Right.
But I didn't know who that was, and he wasn't really sure, but he thought that it might be, can't think of his name.
Was it Gary Hawthorne?
Gary Hawthorne, thank you, that's the one.
You're sure?
I knew it was an H,
It was-
yes,
yeah,
Gary Hawthorne.
okay.
And so I then called Leona back, and I told Leona that I'd been in touch with the county supervisor and that he suggested that I try working with them again. And
So did
that
she
he
give-
said I should call my district representative,
Right.
and could she tell me who that was? And she said she, again, was pretty sure that it was Gary Hawthorne.
So did you talk to Gary Hawthorne?
I asked for his phone number. She said, I don't think I'm allowed to give his number out. But she said, but I can give you his
Careful.
email, and you can reach him by email. So I said, if that's what I have to do, that's what I'll do.
Now, I just want to back up. Leona's been aware of your situation for years, right?
Yes, absolutely. She knows when I call. I think she recognizes my voice before I even give my name.
All right. So she gave you his email?
She gave me
So
his
you
email.
first contacted him by email?
I emailed him.
And did he respond?
Yes, a few days later, not right away, but a few days later.
Did
and
he
again,
give you a phone number then to talk?
his response was to contact the water district and leave a message if they weren't there.
Wait, did he never call you?
No,
You never spoke with Director Hawthorne?
nope.
Okay, and so you
He
called
never
him-
came out here
You
either.
called a number. Did you call the number then? Which was the
Yeah.
number you've been calling before?
Yeah.
So, last question. What were your, two questions actually. What were your hopes when this new pipe went in? What were you hoping?
Well, I was praying
That
that it
we
was
could
going to
use our
solve our
backyard.
problem, that we'd be able to.
I got
Use
3
our
acres
whole
here, and I'm using
property.
a tenth of an acre down there.
Do you think your property's lost value?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see
I
we want
do.
to buy it with this kind of water
Yeah,
coming
and
out
we're just
everywhere.
praying that it doesn't do permanent damage.
We're up at the North Yuba Water District Irrigation Canal. What number is this?
We think this
3?
is 03.
03. All right. And here's the water coming in an old culvert where there's a road that goes over, right?
Yep,
And this is the upstream side, right?
yep.
Let's see what's happening on the downstream side. Oh, here's the pipe. Here's the pipe.
Yes, and this is their lovely job.
Oh, that's
Now they told you this pipe was supposed to have been buried, right?
That's what the guy told me when I walked up here.
Yeah.
He said he found out that it was supposed to have been buried, and they couldn't bury it because they said that's Indian land over there, and they couldn't use the dirt.
that's not Indian land.
Well,
Yeah.
It starts 2 mountains over.
I see ripples in the water on the back side over here, like there's something flowing.
Yeah,
out.
there's obviously a leak right there, that close.
See how they
And yet the ditch is not filling with water, so I want to know where that water's going. That's coming out right there.
Uh-huh. Leak down there. Look at that leak.
And look, there's no water in the ditch.
Look
Where's
at
it
that
going?
leak. But the water's coming out from the joint, and there's no water in the ditch, so it's going down in the ground somewhere.
Yes.
Boy, that's a lot of water. That certainly could be feeding your swamp, right? In your
Right.
backyard.
Right.
And that was on May 9th.
Yes.
Wow. All right.
Wonder why they didn't put the pipe through the culvert.
And
That's-
they bought pipe that was too big for the culvert.
Huh.
I don't know. But when they first started, it did go right up to the culvert. They came back and cut this out after the first time it breached.
And
After-
what's all these concrete bags for?
This is what they've done. They take it out and then they just throw it up on the edge and they start something new.
So wait, you're saying when this was originally constructed, the culvert, the
The
pipe,
pipe went
up.
all the way to the culvert.
This is a major development.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Oh, wow.
Oh my
So the
God.
pipe is carrying water, but it's leaking out of the pipe and around the culvert. And
My
it's
property
in, the,
line ends right over there.
it's in the ditch.
My property line
It's
ends right over
everywhere.
And your property line ends right up over there, huh? You're going to walk to it. So all this water could be leaking down into your...
So
Your
yeah,
property.
then this is all irrigation water that's going wasted.
But this is how the whole pipe was when we came up here when they tried to fix it. The whole ditch was flooded like this all the way down.
Oh yeah. See, that's probably because it's floating here.
Is it floating?
Right over there it looked like it
floating
is.
a little bit?
That first joint looks like it's floating
There's
right
only
there.
one way to find out.
Only one way to
Somebody's
find out.
gonna jump
All
on
right,
it.
No,
You
you
gonna
did
go
that
out
last time.
I got different shoes this
Go
time.
down, come down here and just walk down it.
Yeah, let's see if it's actually
That one's floating right there.
Oh, now I wonder what that's
Yeah,
from.
a stick right there is holding
Look
it down.
look at that joint. There's
Are
a
you
silk
kidding me?
connection there.
That's where most of the water's coming in. You see it's floating right there. Comes up like that.
What's that stick supposed to be doing?
Well, they had shovels on the side of it and
Oh
everything
my
holding
God!
the
Can you
pieces
see?
together.
Come here, Gretchen. Look at that. Look at how horrible that is.
Yeah, I'm getting
Can you
that.
get it?
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Careful. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Them rubber boots might slide.
It may not be your friend.
You want a sledgehammer?